scrunched up under his back, so that now when Jamil puts him down, watching his arm. You see his arm, Jamil?
Yeah.
You don't want his arm to just hit because you have to control it. And so he's now on that part of the body bag. Jamil, now you're going to turn his foot over the other foot. So now his left foot will go over his right foot. Switch his left foot to go over his right foot. Go back on that side, do the same thing. Bring his arm over. Get your hand under his waist and his shoulder. You don't have to help him, Tamjid. So what we're going to do, inshallah, when you carry him, one hand here on the strap, one hand on the strap. John? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, up. Slide. Slide the body to So do you have any fun? Still smiling, shall we? It's a happy good time. So we have 10 minutes, even though I was told 8 o'clock, that's fate. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. To make this very quick, brothers and sisters, we have to consider how to handle the deceased. We have to also consider the proper materials, glove, apron, things like that, inshallah ta'ala, you can use. Of course, you should be using. But now we're going to talk about actually washing him. Before you wash a body, you should be covering his awrah. For the men, we know the awrah is from the navel to the knee, belly button to the knee. For the sisters, what's awrah? It depends what fiqh you follow. It could be the whole body, it could be the face, the voice, the hands, the eyes, the ears, the nose, everything, right? But generally, the awrah between woman to woman is 2 opinions. Generally, they can have the same cover. Because back then, at the time of the Prophet, it's okay for a woman to be breastfeeding in front of another woman. Yes? So she can see that. That's not awrah for her. But depending on which fiqh you follow, you're either going to cover navel to knee for the woman too, or you're going to cover from about her neck to about the middle of her leg, which we would call, let's say, her shin. So for our brother, we're going to say we're going to cover from his navel to his knee. Then we would be removing this body bag, and because we have literally, the brother said 10 minutes, I was thinking more like 20 minutes, we're going to make this very, very, very quick. So let's just imagine what we did here, how we put him on the body bag, we did the opposite, and we got the body bag out. So imagine now he's on the table with no body bag. This is his outer cover, covering his navel to knee. I'd like to put his arm on the side of the table, on the side of his body, I should say. And now, when you come from the hospital, what are you wearing? Those gowns. You're going to remove either the string or the button, and you're going to remove it from underneath the bag. Now, why are we using a bag and not cloth? Because cloth, when it gets wet, what will happen? It will show the body. Yes or no? It will show the body, you'll see the private parts, and you can't move it. This way, when the water hits here, it will slide right off, and you can move it how you like to move it. Now, what's the first part of washing? What does it say here? Istinja. So, if we were to go inside of the bin, which is hiding under this table, we're going to perform istinja for our brother Tamjid, but not perform istinja for our brother Tamjid. So we would have, let's say, for example, John, if you don't mind, take this one, just put on your hand. And we would be performing istinja with this. What's this? A sponge. Why a sponge? Because you want to have a barrier between your hand and the brother or sister's private part. So Brother John would come, you would be cleaning him from here. He's doing istinja for the brother. He has what the brother has, and sisters have what the sisters have, so they clean themselves as they would want to be cleaned. How do we tell if he's clean if we cannot look at him? How do we tell if he's clean? 2 ways. Number 1, you look at the water that's passing between his legs going inside of the hole. If the color of the water is becoming clear, he should be clear. And second, you can check the sponge to see if the sponge is clean. Then it comes time to clean the back part. So we would turn the brother to his side. Jamil, come through. Bring his arm over. Turn him over. And John will be able to clean him from the back side. And if John says, look, brother, I need help, need to clean him, Jamil will just pick up his leg from here to give him space to clean. Same thing for the sisters, you pick up their legs, inshallah. We're going to slowly put him back down. How do we make sure that he's clean? Again, the sponge and the water. Then John, or the washer, would consider that right now this is the only part of the body which is najis, which is impure. The blood is not, the throw-up is not, it's this. So he would what? Take the glove, wrap it over the sponge, throw it out, put a new glove, and just start. You don't have to do nothing crazy. So, that is for istinja. After istinja, just hit the right arrow key on the keyboard. We're going to get into the washing, the actual ghusl. The first thing that you do for the deceased after istinja is what? Wudu. You perform al-wudu. After you perform al-wudu, now the only difference is for the wudu is that when it comes to the mouth and the nose. The mouth and nose, you cannot pour something in his mouth, shake his face, and turn him over. You can't do that. So you clean whatever is apparent, whatever is in front of you. If it just means wetting your glove, you can wet your glove. It might mean wetting a piece of tissue, you wet a piece of tissue, or a sponge, or a cloth. But you only do it how many times? 3. You don't do 4. You don't say it's not clean. You do it as best as you can those 3 times, because in the ghusl part, then you will perform washing of his face and his hair and so on and so forth. After you perform the full wudu, okay? We all know the steps: hands, mouth, nose, face, arms, hair, ears. Some may say masah of the neck and what have you, and feet. We know how many times and things like that. Should I be making an announcement now or later? I don't want to.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
So, we said wudu, we know. After the wudu is the first of the 3 ghusls, the first of the 3 washings. So the first washing is to be just with water. When you wash the body, you wash just from the... What's the order of the ghusl? The order, when you're washing your body, at home, ghusl for yourself. Where do you start with? Head. Then, right side, front and back. Left side, front and back. Same thing for the deceased. And this is from the hikmah of Allah. The same ghusl you make for a deceased, you make for yourself every day. So when you actually have the opportunity to wash a deceased, when you go home, you take a shower, making ghusl for yourself, helps you remember one day someone's going to wash your body. So you say, what condition am I in? What situation am I in with Allah? I'm going to be washed one day. This day is going to come. So you do the first washing with water only. The second washing is going to be with water and any type of cleaning detergent. At the time of the Prophet Muhammad, it used to be something called sidr. Sidr is from the lotus tree, pounded up, grounded up into a green powder. They used to mix it with the water and use that to clean the body. You can use any type of soap. We prefer using body liquid soap, squeezing it inside of a no, not a loofah. Squeezing the soap water, the soap into a bucket, and then using the water to make a soap water mix, and then using that to pour on the brother or sister's head first, then right side, then left side. Because if you put it on a loofah, or if you put it on the brother or sister's skin, you have to go and clean very rigorously to get the soap off. And we know that the dead body is not like the living body. The skin, the hair, everything is fragile and soft and can easily peel away. So by you putting soap on the skin, you have to rub like that, very high percentage, you're going to have skin slip. Skin will literally slip off the body. So the way you avoid that, you make a bucket with soap and water, make it high, you do the head first. You can turn the brother or sister on their left side, and clean the right side of their body and front and back completely. So if I turn Brother Tanjeed on his left side like this, now his whole right side is exposed in front of me. His front and his back. And the same thing for the left side. I can put him on his right side and do the left side front and back, inshallah. So that is for the second ghusl. For the third ghusl is that you use water and camphor. You can also add to the camphor any type of itr, good smelling oil. Okay, but make sure the oil is strong enough that when it mixes with the camphor, it's not like you're just throwing it into the air. It has to be strong, because if it's not strong, the camphor will overpower it, and it's like you wasted it. You wasted the itr. You need strong itr to mix with the camphor. And you do the same thing. You start with what? Head, right side front and back, left side front and back. Then you have to pat the body dry, and you have to make sure the table is dry. For the sisters, the Prophet he said that you should split the hair into 3 braids. 1, 2, 3. However you put them, there's nothing in the sunnah that says you have to put 2 on the left, 1 on the right, 1 on the back, nothing like that. You put them however you want, just separate them into 3 braids, inshallah. Very quickly, inshallah, next we're going to go into Bismillah, the actual this we don't have time for, but for brothers and sisters who want to ask questions later, we'll see if JMC will allow after Salat al-Isha for a question and answer session, inshallah. Next is going to be the shrouding. Brothers should be shrouded in how many pieces? Brothers should be shrouded in how many pieces? 3 pieces. Should they be equal or no? Some say yes, some say no, according to the fiqh that you follow. So some of the Hanafi fiqh will say you have to have 1 long thing and then 1 kameez and 1 izar. Another one would say 2 long ones and 1 izar. We say all of this is okay, because even if you had 1 shroud, this would be fulfilling what's fard. Because some of the companions, when they died, they didn't even have 1 full shroud. They were looking for 1 full shroud to cover a companion. So if you did 1 full shroud is enough. But if we said, how was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam shrouded? What's the answer? 3 equally cut pieces of shroud. All of them extend past his head and his feet. They extend past his head and past his feet. 3 equally cut pieces. There was no izar, there was no imama, there was no kameez, nothing. Just 3 equally cut pieces of shroud, as Umm Aisha anha and Brother John and Jamil. What I'm going to ask you to do is, you know how you crunch it up halfway for now? Just for now, bring the whole thing nicely and place it over the brother Tanjeed. This is how, inshallah, you can shroud a brother or sister. You can measure the brother or sister. Of course, I told them to make it long so that we don't waste this kafan. We can actually use it for a real body, inshallah, one day. So, it's okay. So we're going to take this shroud, hold this 1 second, and we're going to bring it halfway onto the body. So like this. I just scrunched it up halfway. That's all I did. So now the brothers, they're going to take this scrunched up piece and they're going to put it under him the same way that the body bag was placed under him. So Jamil, stand over here, get his left foot over his right foot. His left foot. It's okay, it's okay. John, you're going to turn him over to you. Quickly, because we have very little time. We're going to place this under his back, inshallah. Like this. Then we're going to, before doing this, the practical step, you're going to see that he's still wet or she's still wet. So you dry them and you dry the table before you do this. But this is just moving quickly. We're going to slowly put him down, inshallah. Fix his feet the other way. I see that we have 4 more minutes left according to my phone, if that's okay, inshallah. And we're going to pull it out from this side. But of course, making sure that he is dry before you're pulling the shroud and doing things like that. Slowly put him down. And then we would do the kafan one by one. There's 3 layers here. They cut 3 layers. Okay, so we do one by one. We would do the right side first. Why are we doing right side first and not left side? Sunnah. Jazakumullah khair. Now some people say, you don't have to shroud him for now. You know what? Let's do one shroud so they can actually see. Right? And when you do the kafan, sisters, hold this. When you're doing the kafan, brothers and sisters, I know the JMC sisters, mashallah, they're very good. They're always washing. The sisters that come here, because we have a washroom in JMC in the back. You have to lift up to the ceiling. Lift up, nice and tight, and come down. That's how you do a tight kafan. You lift up and you come down. Don't worry, another brothers are like, oh, can he breathe? Is he okay? He's fine, inshallah. Okay? Okay, and you do that 2 more times. Now, for the sisters, if you did it this way, is it wrong for the sisters? It's not wrong. But there is a preferred sunnah. This is also a sunnah. If someone says, we shrouded the body in 3, we say, Bismillah is good. May Allah accept. But if we say, is there another way? Absolutely. You can do it with 5. You're going to have 2 full kafan like this that extend throughout the whole body. You're going to have 1 izar, which is the lower garment, that's like a skirt, goes over. You're going to have 1 kameez that goes over the head. And you're going to have 1 what? Hijab. How we cut the hijab, how we do the kameez, all of this stuff, I will speak to management and see if they'll give us time to further. If they say yes, we'll make an announcement and we'll reconvene here. If they say no, we will inshallah come again. Doesn't matter how soon, even if 1 week, it doesn't matter. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's for the shrouding. It looks like I have 2 minutes left. Salatul Janazah. 4 takbirat is what's normal, that's average. But can you do more? Yes. Hamza radiallahu anhu, his janazah, the Prophet made how many takbirat? 9. So it's okay. So for a man, you stand by his head. And a female, you stand by her waist. You start with Allahu Akbar. What do we recite in the first takbirah? Who wants to tell me? So we would call that thana, right? Is it wrong to say just the thana? Some ulama say yes. Just the thana by itself, without Fatiha, has a very big problem. Because we call this what? Salatul Janazah, yes? And the Prophet Muhammad, he said that there is no salah without Kitab, al-Fatiha. It's a very big issue. If somebody says only a thana, that's a very big problem. You have to at least say the Fatiha is very important, because without this, there can be no salah. So you do Salatul Janazah should be at the bare minimum with Al-Fatiha. Now, someone to say thana, is that from Sunnah or not? Not the point of the discussion. I want to make sure you guys, when you make Janazah, at least Al-Fatiha. You say Allahu Akbar, Fatiha. Second takbirah, you say Allahu Akbar a second time, what are you doing? Durood. Salatul Ibrahimiyya, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidun Majid, until the end of it. The third takbirah, what are you saying? Dua for the deceased. Fourth takbirah. Before salam, you can actually make dua for the ummah. You can. The hands up or not, both of them from the sunnah. Abu Hurairah said, hands down. Abdullah ibn Umar, the son of Umar, he said, hands up for each one. So depending on which masjid you go to, respect the imam. If the imam keeps his hand down, respect for the sheikh, you can keep your hands down, not to cause fitna. And if the sheikh does his hands up, you can do your hands up, because they're both from the sunnah. We don't have enough time. I will say this, Brother Majid from Islamic Relief is here. Alhamdulillah. I believe you're the Northeast Regional Director. New York, mashallah, tabarakallah. And he is going to be making a very quick announcement just regarding the fundraiser they're going to be doing about Bangladesh and Myanmar and that whole situation.
Assalamu alaikum. Just so I can give a salam real quickly. So alhamdulillah, this is also something for us as well. So as Brother Nadeem Jazakallah Khair teaching us about what to do at the time of death, but what are we actually preparing for our graves of good deeds? Next week, Sunday, November 4th, we have Sheikh Yasir Jas coming from Dallas, Texas. We have Maryam Masood, who I recognize that she was at this mission as well, with her Quran citation. And we also confirmed Imam Khalil Latif. This event is going to directly help the people of Bangladesh. Those of Bangladeshi descent, as well the Rohingya, and we're going to mention the Indonesian crisis, the earthquake. So you talk about one janazah, some of them, subhanAllah, they had thousands. So the floods in Bangladesh, or in Indonesia, the earthquake, the crisis, with the Rohingyas, where they were killed and persecuted. So what are some of the psychological things that go through them? And sometimes we think we can go help them ourselves. But brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief's been doing this for 25 years. So let's take the experience of their program coordinators who know a good program to help and sustain the country. They're doing job training, sustainable farming, and living and training for people of Bangladesh, emergency food and medicine for those in the Rohingyas, as well as critical essential items in Indonesia. So next week, Sunday, November 4th, we have some of the postcards here on the side, as well as upstairs. Do act fast and reserve your seats, inshallah. It's limited seating.
So I'm going to speak to management. JMC asked them if we can reconvene. If they say yes, we'll make an announcement. Brothers and sisters, we'll have some more time to go downstairs. If they say no, we will, inshallah ta'ala, work with the youth, JMC youth, and the administration. We can come back as early as next week. It's fine, inshallah ta'ala. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Mayor of